Good afternoon. This is Judge Alyssa Perez resuming the criminal docket for the 210th District Court for December 13th, 2022. All matters being heard today are being heard in accordance with all emergency orders and directives regarding COVID-19. In addition to that, we're streaming all matters live via YouTube for public viewing. Mr. Marufo, would you call our next case, please?
Yes, Judge, bottom of page 21. Annex, may we have Monreal, Miguel Monreal?
Yes, sir. Give me 1 second, sir. Coming right up.
All right, ready?
In cause number 2022-0D00973, State of Texas versus Miguel Angel Monreal. Announcement of council, please.
Samantha Ralph on behalf of the state. Seats ready, Your Honor.
Russell Abood, I'd be happy to defend it. We're ready, Judge.
And Mr. Monreal is appearing from the jail annex. Mr. Abu, do you recognize your client?
Yes, I do.
Okay, we're scheduled for a bond hearing today. You may proceed.
Your Honor, defendant is a U.S. citizen, lifelong resident of El Paso. The only prior record he has is a conviction for, I think, transporting aliens, which he is no longer restricted on it. I think he got 1 year probation or something like that. He's married with children. And it's basically how much we have. The 250,000 is way out of his ability to pay.
Okay.
We'd ask for some kind of split bond.
Okay. Ms. Bravo, are you handling this one? Yes?
Yes, Your Honor. The state's concerned about the safety of the victim. The victim was shot in the right arm and was transported to Del Sol. There were 2 independent witnesses that were able to identify the defendant as the shooter. The defendant does have some criminal history. It was for harboring aliens, which was a felony out of New Mexico, and that was of 2022. In addition, there was a possession of marijuana, 4 ounces to 5 pounds. He was placed on deferred, and that was locally, Your Honor. So the state does oppose a reduction in bond, Your Honor.
Are there co-defendants or is he?
I believe it's just him, Your Honor.
I'm just reviewing the PSR report, including the criminal history here, and I think it conforms with what both of you have told me. Looks like 2009, he had something, criminal district court, a drug case, and then we have the ag assault. Let's see. Are you retained or appointed to, I mean, what can he afford, Mr. Abu?
Maybe 10,000 cash corporate surety, 10,000 PR.
What's the, is there a relationship, Ms. Rago, to the victim, or what's the scenario there?
So let's see. So it indicated a shot through the door and hit the complaining witness.
I think they were just friends.
Knows shooter's girlfriend is Denise, and so I think it was friends, some sort of relationship, Your Honor.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and I'll split the bond. We'll do 150,000 cash surety, $100,000 PR, monthly reporting, no contact with the victim, may not come within 200 yards of the victim's residence, possess no weapons or ammunition, no firearms, I'm sorry, or ammunition, subject to testing, curfew, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. may not leave El Paso County or change place of residence without court permission. Anything else, Ms. Schrago, on there that I'm missing?
I think you got it, Your Honor.
Okay, alrighty, that'll be the order. Thank you
I
very
think you
much.
can't go any lower, Judge, on the cash side of it.
No, I cannot. I'm sorry, Mr. Abud.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay, who's next?
Page 22, Judge.
Mhm.
Annex, may we have Watts, Jose Watts.
What's the bond on Mr. Watt?
Sorry, Your Honor, we don't have a bond.
Who
He
is
may
it?
be downtown.
Downtown.
It was a no bond, Your Honor, because of the
Ah.
probation violation and the JMEGs he picked up.
Got it, got it. Yes, you're right. Yes, you're right. Who has the echo? Is somebody viewing it on YouTube? If you are, you need to mute. Okay.
Downtown, are you there? We can go to the next one, Judge.
Okay.
On page 20, Judge. Annex, may we have Gomez, Ernest Gomez?
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Anderson.
I'm right here. I'm at the downtown, actually.
Oh,
That's
you're
Ernest
Ernesto
Gomez.
Yes, sir. I'm actually on chain currently to go to the annex.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
In cause number 2021 0D0 3031 and 2021 0D03.
Hmm.
Apologies, Judge.
Mhm.
In cause number 2020 0D0 5479. State of Texas versus Ernest Gomez announcement. Counsel, please.
Samantha Rock on behalf of the state. State's ready, Your Honor.
Greg Anderson on behalf of Ms. Gomez, Your Honor, ready to proceed.
Okay, so we're set for both probation status hearings and bond hearings. Mr. Anderson, you could go ahead and proceed on your bond hearing. Is he on no bonds on both of these?
I believe he is, Your Honor, and you're far more familiar with him than I am. He's on, because he is on probation in your court on these two cases. I think they're DWIs. I think my understanding as to why they filed the motion or the violation notice to you, which resulted in the warrant, is that there was a family violence assault case which was reported to the police. I know very little about the case other than the fact that the complainant almost immediately contacted our office stating that she wanted to drop charges. We put her off to let her think about it for a little while, but she came in to see me. She was very insistent in coming to see me. And she did in fact come and see me, I believe it was last week. And she signed what I call an attestation of non-prosecution, where she basically told me that he did not hit her, that she was kicking him out of their house, that it was because of a fight. She says just a silly thing. That's what she told me. Wasn't over anything, but she got really emotional about it and kicked him out of the house. And as he was going through the house gathering all his effects, they were going down the stairs and she was following him. He turned and perhaps did make contact with her with his fully, he was holding clothes in his arms and may have touched or hit her arm, and but that it wasn't with a fist or a hand, and that she thinks, I told her it was very important that she not tell a different story if it were not true than what she had talked to the police about. But she said, well, I honestly, I don't know what I told the police, but I think I exaggerated. And I thought that he's been a great father to his stepkids. and to his own kids. And from what she's observed, he actually has done well on probation. And she just felt very guilty about doing this. Again, I have not seen the complaint affidavit, so it's hard for me to compare it to the facts that she reported to the police. In light of the fact that at least she wants to drop the charges, she's going to tell, if she told a different story to the police, it's going to be an issue. That family violence case was only, I think, a $1,000 bond, Your Honor. He likely can make that sort of thing, and I know you really can't do a different bond on that. So I'm just asking for you, you know him better than I do, Your Honor, because he's been in your court. I did send a question to Carla to determine how he's been on probation, and I thought what she told me is that he's been fine, but she also sent a note to his actual probation officer. Judge, I would ask, if you're so inclined, that you just withdraw the warrant on the felony, or at least set some sort of bond that potentially he can make. I'm appointed on the case, so if he's going to make a bond, it's going to have to be very low, Your Honor. So that's my spiel.
Carla, I was trying to go over everything while I was listening to you, Mr. Anderson, to include the PSR and look at some of the history, look at the case summary. I think what I saw in the case summary conforms with what Mr. Anderson told me, that he has been compliant. Has he been compliant? I know we have, I think, 8 cop days outstanding, but otherwise, has he been compliant on probation?
Yes, Your Honor. That is the only outstanding thing. The 8 cop days, he's worked community service. He obviously still has a balance considering he just was placed on probation February of this year. His classes are completed. And as per the monitor, there are no major concerns. There are some skips, but they're really late. But they haven't been anything that needs to get the court's attention. But the only hiccup, I guess, has been this whole arrest a couple of weeks ago, Judge, but that's about it.
Okay. So it was a total of 8 cop days on his probation, 15 days, is that right? Or was it 15 days each case, not concurrent? I doubt it was. It's probably just 15 days, right? Carla?
Let me check, Judge.
I gotta think it was concurrent, even if it was on both cases, because it was 2 DWI thirds. So, all right, Ms. Rocco, you wanna respond to that? What are you all doing with that AFV?
Your Honor, it is a misdemeanor, so that won't be with our court. I looked up the warrant. Similar to what Mr. Anderson said, it looked like they got in a fight over who was going to watch the dogs. And so this complaining witness could go out with her friends. There was an indication he hit her on the arm, Your Honor, and so that I believe that's the main concern is the new AFE. I did pull the terms of probation, and it says it was the 15 days ACOP, and then below it in parentheses it says 15 days ACOP are not concurrent with cause number 2020-0D05479.
They are not?
Are not.
Well, okay. So he has a prior AFV, right, in 2009. So it's, if it were going forward, it's not a misdemeanor.
You're right. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I assume just from looking at the AFE that you're correct.
Has he ever been revoked on probation before?
It looks like in the misdemeanor.
Yeah,
the DWI.
I'm seeing a probation revo on the AFV. It was in County Criminal Court number 2 in 2009. Then he had an ag assault after that. Right, an ag assault.
And that was 4-2, Your Honor.
So yeah, and he got revoked on that one too, right?
Yes, Your Honor. And then in addition, there was a DWI from 2011, and that was, he was revoked to 90 days.
Okay. All right, so did you have anything else, Ms. Rago, on the bond?
No, Your Honor.
What is do you all have a position on recalling the warrant?
We'll defer the court, Your Honor.
So what's the status of that AFV?
I can request it. It's about 3 weeks old. It is fairly new.
Your Honor, I believe he has been in custody for approximately 20 days today, if I'm not mistaken.
There's no indication of whether it's been accepted, declined, or if it's set for grand jury, Your Honor.
Ms. Rago, could you forward the affidavit non-pros to screening, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, so the feds still have a hold on him and the warrant has been returned. Okay, so it's.
Your Honor, the Fed hold was for the previous
Mhm.
Monreal. That was for Monreal. That message
Oh,
is old.
sorry.
That message is old, yes.
That's a
For
no. But I,
Mr. Gomez, the warrant has been returned by the sheriff's office,
Uh-huh.
so I can't recall it. So to get out, it would be either a bond or a release to streets or some other thing.
and then I thought I saw a notation, and I think that's why I went back to that Fed message, even though it's not Fed. Is it Midland has an outstanding on a failure to appear to court? Is that what's on the probation case summary? Let me go back over there. Yeah, Mr. Gomez has a detainer from Midland County under case CR 166190. They called Midland County on December 1st. As per them, probationer has a bond forfeiture due to failure to report to a court hearing for a 2018 possession of marijuana. Okay. So for now, what I will agree to do is just put him, we'll just release him to the streets. We're going to release him now, but here's what he is going to do. And this is more in line with the probation review. He's going to do the ACOP days. Is he working? Mr. Gomez, are you working?
Yes, ma'am. My job was actually waiting till December 10th. I worked at Amazon for currently a year. So I'm still going to try and get out and talk to them about that.
Okay. So what I am going to do, Mr. Anderson, is that I'm going to order that he complete his ACOP days. I'm fine with doing them work release or weekends. But we're going to do that upon release. So we're the 13th. He'll have to start turning himself in on the 15th. Turn himself in at 9 p.m. and he'll be released at 5 a.m. So release to streets. We'll see what ends up happening on the family violence case. I don't know. And then we'll go from there. He'll have to complete, it's 30 days then?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Judge, I'm going to assume you're not going to apply any of the days that he's been in toward that. Okay.
No, sir.
Now, sir, are you able to do work release? I'm just trying to check with it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You work during the day.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, you heard what the judge told you. You're going to be released. And when do you want him to report, Your Honor?
On Friday, so that's the 15th. So starting on the 15th, we'll do every day until the ACOP days are done. I don't know what's going to come of that assault family violence. For now, he's been compliant with his probation, so I am going to modify that there be a no offensive contact with the complainant in that AFV. So whatever that is, I don't know, DAs can figure out what they're going to do with that case. But for now, I'm gonna have a no offensive contact.
As part of probation conditions.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Yes.
and Judge, will this require that he spend time over Christmas? I didn't catch exactly how many days. Was it 20 days?
It's a total of 30 days.
Okay.
So that's
Are you gonna-
correct.
Will you give us any discretion on that issue, Your Honor?
No. We're just gonna do our 30 days. And then, you know, if that AFE goes away, it goes away. If it doesn't, then we'll deal with it.
So-
Okay. All righty.
Thank
So,
you.
Mr. You'll be released to the streets, but then you need to report, sir.
I actually have the hold from million still, right? So I'm not gonna be able to do that.
Oh, he's got the fit.
Yes,
No,
I'm gonna wait the 10 days, or my family's gonna find a way to actually deal with that, so I could try and get out.
There's probably a bond or something attached to that.
Yes, sir.
Can you see that, Marissa? Is that part of the Odyssey documents? Oh,
We can't see that right now because he's currently in transit to the annex. So that's, if you click on the jail link, it doesn't let you see anything.
you know what? Here's what we're gonna do. Well, no, I'm just gonna leave it alone. We'll leave it right there. Okay.
You're gonna have to do what you can on that other
Yes,
warrant.
sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Let me see. We're set here. Oh, I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna leave it like.
If he's unable to get out,
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm thinking, is that we're gonna have a problem because of the Midland case. So you're kind of gonna get your request, I think. We're gonna have him start his jail commitment in 2023. And so that's gonna start on January 6th.
Good.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge, if he's not able to get out because of that Midland warrant, can we start allowing him to serve his ACOP period before January
How do
6th?
we do that? Yeah, well, I guess we could.
I'm sorry, Judge?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that would be the case. If he doesn't get out on the Midland, then he can start doing his ACOP days. How about, what's today, Tuesday? Mr. Anderson, you think you could give us an update on Thursday? I mean, that might be a quick turnaround, but maybe on Thursday we can find out if there's a bond there, if he's able to bond out. If so, then we can just start doing the days this Friday.
Okay, I'll see what I can. I don't think I saw that warrant though, so.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta think there is. It's a PO. It's a Class B. It's a PO, but who knows? It may or may not have a bond. I don't know. So
Okay,
maybe you can update us on Thursday. If he's not going anywhere, then yes, to answer your question, we can start the OCJ immediately, or at least today.
whereas if he gets out, you want him to report January 9. Is that, or,
No, then we're gonna stick to the 15th. Like if he
Okay.
gets out, then he has to come in on Friday and do work release.
okay, all right, I'll report, you would just want me to report back to you by email?
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Sorry, there was a lot of little details there.
Thanks a
All
lot,
right.
Judge.
Thank
All
you.
right. Appreciate it. Thanks,
Thank you.
guys. Okay,
Bye-bye. Thank you.
who's next?
Judge, one last thing.
Do you also have Mr. Watts?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna be moving force. Hi, Judge.
Hi.
Ms. Rocco, I've sent that attestation to you twice, so is it maybe being bounced back or do I have a bad address?
Well, they get Mr. Watts. Annex. Top
Yes,
of page 20, Judge. May we have Escobar, Edward Escobar?
Yes, sir. Give me 1 second, sir.
I'll send it to you again, Ms. Rocco.
Okay, sounds good. Sorry, I missed the beginning part. I was like, are you talking to me? And I was really confused. I'm sorry.
Probably talking to myself. Thank you.
No.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. On Mr. Escobar, I had him down for 2 pleas and a plea of true. And I understand one of the pleas is a dismissal, but the plea of true, what happened to that paperwork? Are we doing that, or is he just going to continue on probation?
Continue on probation, Your Honor.
Okay. This is yours, Mr. Stevens?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
Okay, let's get started.
In cause number 2021-0D01603 and 2019-0D04571 and 2022-0D01862, State of Texas versus Edward Valentin Escobar. Announcement of council, please.
Samantha Raug on behalf of the state. State's ready, Your Honor.
Brent Stevens for Mr. Escobar. We are ready.
And Mr. Escobar is appearing from the jail annex. Mr. Stevens, you recognize your client?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Mr. Escobar, I have 3 cases for you on my docket today, 2 of which are set for a plea, and then 1 is your old probation case. I understand in reviewing the paperwork that there's only going to be a plea to 1 of these cases. That is the case ending 1862, the assault family violence with a previous conviction. Is that your understanding of what we're doing here today?
It is.
Okay, Mr. Escobar, in order to go forward with your plea, I need to swear you in. Would you raise your right hand, please? Sir, do you swear or affirm that any testimony you provide will be the truth and the whole truth?
I do.
Thank you very much. You can put your hand down. Would you please state your name and date of birth for the record?
Edward Valentin Escobar, November 2nd, 1986.
And sir, with respect to your plea in this case, there were documents you should have reviewed with your attorney, the first of which is marked as State's Exhibit number 1. Those are the plea papers. Within that document, you're guaranteed certain rights, including the right to remain silent, the right to trial by jury, the right to counsel, the right to confront and cross-examine witnesses, and the right to call witnesses on your behalf and in your defense. Mr. Escobar, do you recall reviewing State's Exhibit number 1 with your attorney and signing that document?
Yes, I do.
Did you understand everything contained within that document?
I did.
Mr. Stevens, have you had more than 10 days to prepare a defense in this case?
Yes, Your Honor,
And did you explain the plea papers to your client?
I did.
Do you believe he has understood the admonishments, rights, and consequences of giving up these rights by entering his plea today?
I believe so, Judge.
Mr. Escobar, are you satisfied with your attorney's representation of you?
I am.
Mr. Stevens, any reason to believe your client is not presently competent to enter his plea?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Escobar, have you ever been found mentally incompetent by any court?
No, ma'am.
Ever been examined by a doctor or psychiatrist who's found you mentally ill?
I have been to the psychiatric center.
Okay. Is there any condition that is diagnosed or anything else that is preventing you from understanding what we're doing here today?
No.
Have you been able to communicate fully and effectively with your attorney, Mr. Stevens?
Yes, completely.
And you've had every opportunity to ask him any questions regarding your plea today?
I did. I have.
Okay. So based on your testimony, your attorney's representations, and my observations of you, I'm going to find that you are competent to enter your plea. Sir, are you a U.S. citizen?
I am.
Where were you born?
In California.
Okay. So in this case, as I mentioned, you're charged with a 3rd-degree felony offense of assault family violence with a previous conviction, sir. To that charge, what is your plea? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I'm sorry, it cut out. What did you say? Is it guilty or not guilty, Mr. Escobar?
Awesome.
It's cutting out. The audio is cutting out when you speak. Maybe if you can speak a little louder.
Not guilty.
Okay, so if you're not guilty, then we can get you a trial. If you're indicating that your plea is not guilty, you're saying that you didn't commit the offense. So, Mr. Stevens, I don't know if you need to speak with your client, but I have a very busy docket.
Guilty.
No. We're going to put this plea at the end of today's hearings. So we'll go ahead.
I can't. I was leaving early today. Mr. Escobar, are you guilty or not guilty? Do you want to take the probation or not?
Yes, guilty. My mistake.
Are you pleading guilty, Mr. Escobar, because you are guilty and for no other reason?
Yes.
Okay, do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're telling me right now, even though I may not find you guilty, you are telling me that you committed this offense. Do you understand that?
Right.
And are you agree? Is that your plea?
It is.
So you're telling me you did this?
I am.
Yeah, Mr. Stevens.
If you'd like to reschedule it, Judge, just go ahead and reschedule it.
Yeah,
And then-
we're gonna have to do that. Because, yeah, I think we need a little more time. Also, if on this plea, I'll tell you this, Mr. Stevens, because I know we have limited availability in terms of our plea slots. If you would like a referral to the jail magistrate to handle the plea after you've talked to your client, I'm happy to do that on this, okay?
I appreciate it, Judge. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Mr. Escobar. Your attorney's going to speak with you. With that said, though, Mr. Marufo, Mr. Stevens, I added, I think, 2 of your bond hearings today. So if we have those individuals, let's go ahead and bring those up. I don't want to keep Mr. Stevens if he's got to get out of here.
Annex, may we have Alejandro Grado?
Sure, give me 1 second.
Who else do you have, Mr. Stevens? I know you have those 2, Hinojosa, right, and Grado?
I didn't know I have anybody, so I'll get all that together. It's not on my calendar, so let me check.
Well, I pushed it up because it was set for next week. We should have contacted, we should have let Mr. Stevens know. Well, are you okay going forward? You had requested the hearings for
I do
next
not
week.
recognize, what is the name?
These are my clients, Mr. Dorado and
Oh,
Mr. Hinojosa, and I wasn't aware they were scheduled either.
Judge, I sent an email to Mr. Stevens. I didn't know there were Huffman.
oh, okay. So let's go ahead and send Mr. Huffman that information. Mr. Stevens, do you have anyone else?
I only had Mr. Ibarra, and he bonded out, Judge, so we'll cancel.
Okay, so then you're good to go.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate you getting me in quickly.
Okay, okay, so then let's hold off on Mr. Grado. We'll take care of Mr. Watts now. Mr. Huffman, if you'll look at those, let's take care of Mr. Watts.
On page 22, Judge.
Mhm.
In cause number 2021-0D02736, State of Texas versus Jose Abraham Watts. Announcement of council, please.
Samantha Rugg on behalf of the state. State's ready, Your Honor.
Ryan Kennedy for the defense. Defense is ready, Your Honor.
Okay, and Mr. Watts is appearing from the downtown jail. We are scheduled for a bond hearing, and I believe this is a probation case, right? Okay, Mr. Kennedy, you may proceed.
Your Honor, this is a case where it's our understanding that the reason there was a no bond was because of a probation violation because of the JMAGs that were picked up.
Mhm.
I will tell you that we have already filed a non-pros from the original CW with Shalom Briano. Mr. Watts has 3 adult children, 2 grandchildren. He owns and operates a mechanic shop and has for 7 years, which is suffering some financial extreme issues because he's not able to do the shop because it's a very small shop. He does have an ongoing battle with some severe epilepsy and has resulting treatment issues, has had resulting treatment issues. In fact, he was hospitalized the day prior to his arrest and subsequent to his arrival in detention. His bond was reduced on the JMAGs to a total of $20,000. And the one thing that was holding him up was the no bond on the probation violation because of the JMAGs. He has had multiple seizures while he's in there. There is an issue with trying to get him the correct medical treatment while he's incarcerated, Your Honor. So we would ask that the no bond be reduced and he could be released on the bond that has already been set for the other JMAGs or a flat PR bond for all charges.
All right, Ms. Rago.
Your Honor, the state is concerned for the CW's safety. There was an incident. Defendant was at a bar, then came home. Then he punched the victim in the head, then punched her in the back. There's an interference with an emergency call as well that was out of the same incident. The complaining witness tried to use Alexa to call the police, and the defendant unplugged Alexa, Your Honor. Let me see his criminal history, Your Honor. So I'm sorry, my computer, it's freezing.
It's probably overloaded. I remember Mr. Watts very clearly. I think the state dismissed 2 or 3 assault family violences at the time that he pled on the one that he is on probation for. He picks up a case every year. Every year, it was the same victim. The only difference this time, it's a different complainant. And then we got 2 more on all of that alleged conduct at the hospital. So why don't let's hear that criminal history.
Yes, Your Honor. So starting from 1996, there's a violation of protective order. That was a conviction of forgery in 1996 as well. Another violation of protective order in 1996. A violation of protective order that was dismissed in 96. Failure to ID that was dismissed in 96. Violation of a protective order in 97 that was dismissed. Criminal mischief, less than $500. That's in 1998. That was a conviction. Theft over $1,500, but more than $1,500, less than $20,000 by check. That was a conviction in 1999. Unlawful use of a vehicle, 1999. A criminal mischief, $1,500. Impair, interrupt, PB service. That was in 1999. Evading arrest, detention, conviction in 1999. Theft of service, $1,500, but less than $20,000. That was a dismissal. That was in 2001. Theft by check, more than $200, but less than $500. That was a conviction. A theft of more than $500, but less than $1,500. That was dismissed. There was 2 of those in 2003 that were dismissed. 4 theft, more than $500, but less than $1,500 by check. That was in 2003. That was 5 of those. An AFE in 2003 that was dismissed. A theft by check, less than $500, 2003. That was a conviction. A violation of a protective order, more than 2 times previous conviction, dismissed in 2002. An ag assault with a deadly weapon placed on deferred, that was in 2001. Theft of more than $1,500 with 2 or more previous convictions, that was dismissed. A theft, stolen property, more than $1,500, but less than $20,000, that was in 2005, that was a conviction. Possession of marijuana, more than 4 ounces, but less than 5 pounds, that was a dismissal. Ag assault with a deadly weapon in 2002. That was a conviction. Burglary with a HAB, intent other felony, 2002. That was a conviction. Criminal mischief, less than $1,500. That was a conviction in 2005. Theft of more than $500, less than $1,500 by check. That was in 2005. That was a conviction. Then theft of property, more than $1,500, but less than $20,000, dismissal. That was 2 different incidents, one in 2013, one in 2015. In addition, theft of property, less than $1,500, with 2 or more convictions, that was dismissed in 2013. And violation of protective order, stalking, 2012, that was a dismissal. Another stalking as well in 2012, that was a dismissal. Then there was a terroristic threat of a household in 2012, which was a conviction. Another violation of protective order, more than 2 previous convictions. That was in 2012. There was another 2 incidents. Deceptive trade practice in 2014, that was a dismissal. Theft of service, more than $500, but less than $1,500, 2017, that was a conviction. And assault family household member impeding breath, 2017, was a dismissal. Assault, intent reckless breath, circulation, 2017, that was an acquittal. And that, in addition, another count regarding that, assault family household member with previous conviction was an acquittal. That was in 2017. An ag assault with a deadly weapon, dismissed in 2017. Another assault, bodily injury, 2 or more within 12 months, which is a dismissal in 2017. Violation for protective order in 2017 was also dismissed. Violation of a protective order, 2 or more previous convictions, shows probation was discharged. That was in 2019. There was additional
Charged
charges.
early, correct, on that 2019 case, right? Because he wanted to go to Arizona to start his mechanic business, right?
I can pull it, Your Honor.
I've looked at it. You can keep
Okay.
going.
Violation of a protective order with 2 or more convictions. That was in 2017. This is two different charges in 2017. Those are dismissals, unauthorized use of a vehicle, 2 different incidents. That was a dismissal in 2018. Assault, family household member with previous conviction. This was in 2019. The case was dismissed in 2022. This was, in addition, there was the assault, impeding breath that was dismissed. Incident was in 2020. It was dismissed in 2022. Assault family household member, previous conviction. Incident happened in 2020, dismissed in 2022. Assault family member household. This is the conviction in 2022. In addition, there was the violation of a protective order 2 or more times, previous conviction, that was dismissed in 2022, Your Honor.
How many pen trips does he have? I'm showing 2. In 2000 and then in 2005. Is that right? Looking at the PSR, he's got a DWI out of Arizona in 2013, for which he failed to appear, but somehow still got a dismissal to go along with, I don't know, 20 or so dismissals here in Texas. Then in New Mexico, is that you, Mr. Watts? Nobody asked you to speak. And then in 2004, he had a battery on a household member, 2 counts, shows a warrant and no disposition there. So I don't know, Mr. Kennedy, what do you think about this bond?
Honestly, Your Honor, I think that with the new charges, if the new charges were not in existence, we probably wouldn't be here right now. After taking a look at it, I have a feeling that at least a couple, if not 3 of those will probably not go further. If they do, they're fairly weak cases. I think that if he's out on a $10,000 bond and has no contact with the CW, he does have a place to live. He does have a job. I don't think he's going anywhere. And I think that he will stay away from the complaining witness.
So he's got 2 prior pen trips, right? And he's facing new felonies. Like, even if we discount the new A of V, he tried allegedly to take the weapon from an officer, right? Allegedly. Ms. Rago, do you have anything else on the bond?
The state respectfully opposes the PR or a bond in general, Your Honor, just based on the criminal history and noncompliance.
He's on 2 years straight. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
His request for bond is denied. We'll have a probation status in 60 days. We should, if we're going to have additional cases, well, they'll be here. So we'll get those started and put on the trial track. Mr. Kennedy, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
You may. Who's next?
In the middle of page 20, Judge. Annex, may we have Garcia, Jesse Garcia?
Yes, sir. Give me 1 second.
Mr. Hernandez.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
I'm
sorry you keep catching me at Circle K, but we have a program. He's qualified for the program.
Okay, let's get your client. Sorry, I thought maybe because you were in your car, you were going to tell me that something hadn't changed. Mr. Garcia, is that you? Okay, let's call it.
In cause
I was
number
just visiting other innocent clients at the annex.
3257 State of Texas versus Jesse Garcia. Announcement of council, please.
Samantha Rogg on behalf of the state. State's ready, Your Honor.
Edward Hernandez, Deputy Public Defender with a Mental Health Advocacy and Litigation, ready on behalf of Mr. Jesse Garcia. Proceed, Your Honor.
Okay, I can tell you, Mr. Hernandez, your audio just started going in and out there. So I don't know if we're gonna have trouble. Maybe you should sit still. I don't know. Anyways, Mr. Garcia is appearing from the jail annex. What do you have in terms of an update? And it looks like you're frozen, Mr. Hernandez.
Your Honor, my client qualifies for the court specialty.
Not happening. This is not happening. So please log off and log back in. Mr. Garcia, we're going to try and figure out the technical issues and then we'll come back to your case. Okay, who's next?
Page 19, Judge.
Mm-hmm.
Annex, may we have Juan Arellano?
Oh, yes, sir. Give me 1 second. Yeah.
All righty, go ahead.
In cause number 2020-0D02963, State of Texas versus Juan Arellano. Announcement of council, please.
Samantha Rogg on behalf of the state. State's ready, Your Honor.
Rick Huffman on behalf of Mr. Arellano, we are ready, Your Honor.
Mr. Arellano is appearing from the jail annex. I have us down for a status conference. We had a status conference back at the end of November. What was the holdup? Why haven't we set this for trial yet?
Well, Judge, we're trying to work out a deal, and basically the issue we're having is one of the offers is probation, and Mr. Arellano is currently living in Colorado with his aunt.
Oh, that's right. Yes. I remember.
We did get a jail offer, but it's pretty high, Judge. And so I wanted to see, he's actually on probation for a DWI in Colorado. So what I'm thinking is, it shouldn't be that hard to get his probation transferred to Colorado because he's already.
What's the jail rate? May I ask?
300 days credit per time served plus court costs. It's a 1244A just because he absconded at the time of the plea, Your Honor. Or we'll honor the original plea papers, which were the 2 straight, Your Honor.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Huffman. What were you going to say?
Well, Judge, I have not confirmed this with the probation department, but I do think it's doable to get his probation transferred to Colorado, being that he's already on probation in Colorado.
That would take a period of time, I think. No, Carla, he would have to plead to the probation and then he would have to be here for a period of time and then see if, is your client able to do that?
Well, he doesn't have any place to stay here in El Paso, but and maybe he could stay at the opportunity center. That's tough, Judge. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I'm going to set him for trial. I'm going to set him for trial. Okay. So, Myrna, we need to have him set fairly quickly if we can find like a March trial date. And then you all can figure it out.
Ms. Rodman, would you do 200 days?
I'll meet you in the middle. I'll do 250.
Okay. I was just hoping we could just get started on the probation.
So you all need to figure it out. I'm going to go ahead and set you for trial. You'll get your trial settings. We're only set for a status conference today. So if you need anything from the court, Mr. Huffman, please file your motion.
Understood.
All right. Thank you very much. Who's next?
Bottom of page 21, Judge. Annex, may we have Rodriguez? Juan Rodriguez.
Sure, give me 1 second.
Is this Miss Rago or is it Miss King?
It's Miss King, Your Honor. I kind of froze.
Oh, yeah, you did.
I was trying to take off my video.
Did we cut? Well, we need Miss King unless, yeah.
Your Honor, we had discussed this one with you in chambers. do you
Right. I think
recall?
you all were supposed to come back with a trial date and that's what I don't have. You all have one? If not,
Oh.
I'll just give you one. That was
Okay,
kind of what we were waiting on.
I see. I did set up Ms. King with my office because they have the calendar. So I didn't follow through on
Mhm.
that.
So, can I set you, and we can talk about October, Myrna, we have a special setting. Well, but we need Miss.
I'll take October.
Let's-
I
I,
called
I
her, Your
really
Honor.
will. I don't have anything in October.
Okay,
I
October
called her, Your Honor.
6th?
She should be hopping on pretty soon.
okay, we'll say October 6th and Miss King will be hopping on. So let's just give her a second. I don't know what's going on with the internet today. Everybody's. Mr. Hernandez, you came back on. Is your internet good?
Yes.
No, it's not. No. Okay, I'm gonna kick you out and you can go find another place to try and hook up. Oh, yeah. Okay, Ms. Gavido, we'll just give her a minute.
Thank
and
you.
we'll
Okay,
call-
my office did text me saying October 6th is good.
Okay, great. Mr. Marufo, who else do we have left? The add-ons?
If Mr. Hoffman is ready, the add-ons.
Okay, I kind of don't want to move Mr. Rodriguez because I think Roa will get on here pretty quick. Is that all we have left?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, so let's give Roa just a second. And then what was the other case? I know it was Mr. Rodriguez, and then there was another one. I want to make sure that we followed up on both cases, Myrna, with those trial settings. We're gonna have to go back. and look.
Herrera.
Daniel, but that was with Judge Alcala, que no, Ms. Cabero?
Right.
Okay, so
right.
there's that one, but we had two. I think we had two. I'll go back and look.
Judge, it may have been Munoz.
Munoz. That sounds right. But I can't think of his full name. So I'll have to go back and look. Do you have his full name?
Joshua Munoz. It was set
Yes,
December
that's right.
the 2nd, I believe. I know him by trial dates.
Okay, thank you. That's the other one. Let me go. Yeah, we have it set in January, so I don't have a problem waiting till that date to go over a new proposed trial date.
Thank you.
Ms. King, all right, let's just call it. Calling cause number 2021-0D03011, State of Texas versus Juan Antonio Rodriguez. May I have announcements, please?
Roa King for the state of Texas. State is ready. Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
Teresa Caballero on behalf of Mr. Rodriguez.
Mr. Rodriguez is appearing from the jail annex. This was a follow-up status conference in order to get a trial date secured. Ms. King, we were looking at October 6th for our new trial date. I will have that specially set. Can you just let me know if if that date does not work?
Judge, I think I froze or you froze, but October 6th sounds good.
We're going to
I
specially
don't
set
know
it.
of any,
No, we're going to specially set that. I'm going to try and secure commissioner's court for it, but what I will do, it'll be the 6th, but we'll do the 5th and the 6th in the event we can't get commissioners and we have to do multiple panels. Okay.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you both. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Who's next? Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez.
Mr. Hernandez, do you have a better connection?
Thanks,
Okay.
Rod.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks. A ver, Mr. Hernandez, can you say something?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm speaking. Can you hear me?
Yes. but I don't trust it. We can try it. Mr. Garcia, Annex, if we could have Mr. Garcia, please, back.
No.
Call it Mr. Marufo so we can hopefully.
In cause number 2020-0D0-3257, State of Texas versus Jesse Garcia. Announcement of council, please.
No. Are you speaking, Mr. Hernandez? Because you look
Oh, me,
frozen.
I thought the state goes first.
Oh, you're right.
I didn't hear the state. Maybe they got lost.
I don't even see her. She's not even here. We don't have
I
this
don't
state.
think we need the state, Your Honor. Can you please just modify my client to coordinated specialty care?
Oh my God. You know what? Let's get off of YouTube.